Jah-Marien, the move to Wolf this week, just kind of what went into that and how comfortable were you playing that position?
You know, we had a couple guys down at that position, and that's something that, you know, Coach Kane Womack, you know, he asked me to come step up in that position, you know, and me as the person I am, I'm going to do whatever I feel is best for the team. And, you know, that was something he asked me, like, we're probably going to need you at this position this week. So that's what I did.
What does it say about your athleticism that you can move like a wolf and also be big enough to play bandit, right?
I mean, it says a lot about, you know, my athleticism and just being able to play all over the field. But I mean, I knew that I could do that, and evidently they knew I could too. That's why they made the swap with a position change.
Did you do some of that in high school? Had you been kind of familiar with that role? Or?
Honestly, that was like my first time, you know, playing a bandit position. You know, it's kind of like similar, like you drop at that position as well. So I mean, it's kind of like the same position. So I mean, it was just learning, like, it's basically like flip sided. So like whatever I did on the other side of the ball is the opposite. So it's like now just making sure that I'm learning both sides of the ball.
What is, other than flipping sides, what is the biggest, I guess, difference between those two roles?
I would just say I drop more than I would, you know, playing bandit.
Being a guy from just up the road, what does this rivalry mean to you, the Iron Bulls?
I mean, it means a lot. You know, growing up, you know, right down the street, it's something that was talked about every year. You know, ever since I knew what football was, that was something that a game that was always harped on, and especially being an Alabama fan. You know, so when I got the chance to come here, especially, that's when, you know, I felt it even more. You know, being able to come here with the guys and put in the work and to actually go out there on the field and, you know, be a part of that experience.
There's a lot of rivalries in college football this weekend, whether it's, you know, the return of Texas A&M, whether it's Ohio State, Michigan. Where does this one rank for you, or like rank nationally? Do you think?
I think it don't get too much better than the Iron Bowl. Like, you know, I've even been in other states where people, you know, talk about the Iron Bowl, so that lets me know, like, the significance that it has in college football.
So when you, with that significance, when you hear, you know, chatter among Auburn players about you guys and the talent or whatever was said, I mean, are you surprised by it?
I mean, not really. You know, I feel like every week somebody on the opposing team has something to say, you know, that blows up in the media. But like, that's something that we can't worry about. You know, that's our job is to come out here and put in the work so that on Saturday we're able to go out and play. You know, and that's the external factor and things that we don't need to feed into.
You guys might not feed into it, but as someone that grew up in the state, how familiar were you with maybe trash? Did you have any Auburn friends, and what is that trash talk like between the fans? You know, you got to be a part of that when you were growing up.
I mean, I was, but like me personally, I have never been like the trash talk type of guy. Like even on the field, like I rarely talk trash. I mean, I line up, do my job, you know, get to the ball, and I feel like it doesn't help you out in any way. You know, talking trash on the field. Like, I mean, it might give you a sense of excitement, like personally, but like for me, I mean, I just think my job is to line up, you know, go execute this play.
What's your earliest memory of the Iron Bowl?
Earliest memory. Honestly, I can't think of that right now.
Okay.
This senior class has a chance to finish their careers never losing to Auburn. What does that kind of mean? What is the significance that holds?
Oh, I mean, it means a lot. You know, when you come into Alabama as a student athlete, that's a game that, you know, people ask you once you leave, like, what's your record against a team like Auburn? So, I mean, just leave undefeated. You know, that'll mean the world to me.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Appreciate you.